Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perfect French with Dylane. Today we are going to learn everything about the adjectives in French. So we are going to see the adjective when they are masculine, feminine, singular, plural, irregular, the most common adjectives, etc. etc. This is going to be a busy lesson, but an easy one. On the book we are going from page 163 to 170. De 163 à 170. As usual, you can join me on my Instagram for a little quiz. So first, what is an adjective? An adjective is a word that modifies or describes a noun. It just helps to give more information. For example, un chien blanc, a white dog. White and blanc are adjectives. They help to give the color of the dog. That's it. It just helps to give more information. We are not going to see the placement of the adjective today. We will see that tomorrow, once you're familiar with feminine, the masculine, etc. I have to say that French adjectives are a little bit more complicated than the English one now. In English, they only change when they are used in a comparison, such as a lucky woman. She is the luckiest. That's the only time that they change. In French, they agree in gender and number with the noun that they describe. So because of that, they might be the same for all, but they can also be different for all. We're going to see all of them. Do you remember I told you when we saw the gender and number of noun, so masculine, feminine, plural, I told you that all the rules that we saw then were going to be very important for the rest of the course. Well, they're important for now, because the rules are very similar. Only the ending of the adjective is going to change. We are always going to start with the masculine singular, and then everything else might or might not change. We'll see. Because I don't have much space on the screen, I'm going to have MS for masculine singular, FS for feminine singular, MP for masculine plural, and FP for feminine plural. And we are going to start with adjective ending in E. That's the easiest ones. For example, libre, libre, so free. Masculine singular, libre. And then we have feminine, it's going to be libre as well, because it already ends with a E, so we are not going to add a E. Then we have libre, we add a S, because it's plural. And then libre, we add a S as well, because it's plural. Let's see another one. Célèbre, 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 E. Célèbre, E as well. Célèbre, S, and then célèbre, S. They are the easiest. You have more in the book. I think you have one or two more for each. I'm going to give you two for each point. You have a very long list on the book. Yes, if you have the book, you have a lot of information. Then we have the adjectives ending in E, I, O, U. We are going to see âgé and vrai. For âgé, we have âgé with E for masculine, âgé et E in this case, because we have the E, we are going to add the E after the E. So it's different than only when it's E. Âgé et E. Âgé et S, and then âgé, feminine plural, et ES. For vrai, we have vrai. Then we have vrai with a E, vrai with a S, and vrai with a S. For the two first points that we saw, the pronunciation doesn't change. It stays exactly the same, no matter if there's a S, no matter if there's a E. If you don't know about silent letters, I highly recommend you to go back to the pronunciation course. There's a whole video about silent letters. But the pronunciation will change when the adjective ends with a consonant. So if it ends with T, D, N, S, the pronunciation is going to change. We are going to see one for each, and we are going to see amusant and blond. Let's start with amusant. Amusant, so it's the masculine singular. Then we have amusant, t, t. Here the T is pronounced, but not the E. We don't say amusante. Amusante, we don't say that. Do you remember the E is a little bit like a superhero that is going to give its power to the last consonant. So now we pronounce the last consonant. We did not pronounce it in the first one, because there's no E after. There's no superpower. So now, superpower, from the E, we pronounce the T. I hope it helps. Then we have amusant. Amusant, S has no power, we don't pronounce the T. Then amusante, because we have the E, we are pronouncing the T. Same for blond. We have blond, blond. Blonde, blonde, blond, and blonde. For the N, we are going to see prochain, and for the S, we are going to see anglais. So we have prochain, prochaine. Here the pronunciation is very different, because prochain, A-I-N, make the sound un, while prochaine, because we pronounce the N, because the E give its power back, the A-I is pronounced E, so we have prochaine, prochain, prochaine, okay? Prochain, prochaine, prochain, prochaine. Anglais, anglais, anglaise, Z, because the S between two vowels is pronounced as a Z. Anglais, anglaise, anglais, anglaise. Nothing happened for anglais masculine plural because we can't add S after S. We don't add anything after S, after X, and after Z. So those stay the same. Anglais, plural, stay the same. For the one ending in EUX, we are going to see heureux. Heureux, ending in with EUX. So we have heureux, heureux, heureuse, heureuse. Heureux is not going to change because we can't add S after the X. Heureux, heureuse. That's the basic of the adjective. To practice, you can do the exercise 3.1. Oh, I forgot, but we're actually on chapter 3 of the book now. You made it to chapter 3. The next point, adjective ending in F. Most of them are going to be EF and EUF, such as actif and neuf. Actif and neuf. Neuf is not number 9, is another way to say nouveau, which is new. That's neuf. Neuf is new as well. So actif, actif, active, active. So in French we also don't have actif. I think it's mostly for pronunciation because we don't really have this kind of f. So actif, active, it's softer, okay? So we turn the F into a V, active. And then actif, FS, active, soft. Neuf, neuve, neuf, neuve. That's for the F. Now, when they end in a R. And here we have two different sounds. We have the E and we have the R. But technically we're going to see R first and then E. So if you look at fier, fier, we have E, R. Okay, we pronounce the E as a E and then we pronounce the R. When premier, premier, ER is pronounced as a E. So here we are going to have a very big change in pronunciation. So let's see. For fier, we have fier, fier, and here the pronunciation doesn't change, but we have the accent. Fier, fier, and fier. So E-S-E-S. Now for premier. Premier is going to change to première. Première. So we go from the E to the E. Premier, première. Premier, première. This one is very interesting. When they end in AL, we are going to see spécial, social. The good thing about this is that the adjective is actually the same as in English. So that's easy-ish. So yeah, spécial, spécial. Pronunciation doesn't change. Then for masculine plural, we are going to have spéciaux, spéciaux. This changed a lot. And then spécial. We go back to spécial. It's only for masculine plural that is going to be AUX. You remember that we saw that for the plural of a noun. We saw un cheval, des chevaux, etc. So here it's the same, but only for the masculine plural. For the next one, social, social, socio, social. Okay? Only one more for this point. We are going to see when the last consonant is going to double. You will see. We are going to look at bas and gentil. Bas and gentil. Let's see bas first. So we have bas. For masculine singular, we don't pronounce the S. And then for the feminine one, we have basse. Basse. So we double the S and we add a E. Basse. Why? Because if we only add a E, we are going to have base. Base. And it's just another word. Okay? So basse. Basse. For masculine plural, we go back to bas because we can't add another S. And then we have basse again. For this one, gentil, gentil. If we had only ILE, it would be gentil, gentil. Like facile, easy, facile. Same thing, so it does not happen. So 2L. And then we have gentil with a S, and then gentil with LLES. I really hope it makes sense. When you feel comfortable, you can do the exercise 3.2. Next point, the one that you didn't ask for, les adjectifs irréguliers. Irregular adjectives. You have a long list in the book. I'm going to give you 10. We're going to go over it like we did with the other ones, but make sure to study the one that you need. So if there's one that you're never going to use, don't study it, but still try to study as much as you can because they're obviously the one that we use the most. So let's start with blanc. Blanc. We have blanc, and then we have blanche. Blanche. Why? Because if we add a E, it will be blanche, blanche, and it's not a word. So, blanche. And then we have blanc and blanche. So, the thing to remember, blanc becomes blanche. Doux, doux. We have doux, and we have douce, douce. It's basically like heureux, heureuse. Just that this one is going to be a C and it's pronounced as a S. So it's actually not the same as heureux, heureuse. But kind of. Douce. Doux, douce, doux, douce. Favori. Favori, favorite. Favori, favorite. So here we add the T and the E. Favorite. Fou becomes folle. Folle. Fou, folle, fou, and folle. Frais, this one is very particular. Frais becomes fraîche with the accent circumflex. Fraîche. And then frais again. And then back to fraîche. Long, longue, longue. Because if we add only the E, it's going to be longe, longe, which is not what we're looking for. Long, longue, long, longue. Sec becomes sèche, sèche. Accent grave, C-H-E. Sec, sèche, sec, sèche. Inquiet becomes inquiète, inquiète. Inquiet, inquiète. Inquiet, inquiète. So just remember that all the changes that we see right now are very closely linked to pronunciation. And I'm sure you remember all about it. So that's 8 of them. Now we have the 2 last ones. They're much easier. They are marron and orange. Marron, orange. So those don't change at all. Marron, 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 no change. And then orange, 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 no change. Why? Because they are fruits and nuts. So un marron is a chestnut. And une orange is an orange. So because those are color adjectives taken from food, they don't change. If that makes sense. To practice, you can do 3.3. The next point. Adjective with a 5th choice. So we saw all the adjectives with 4. Now we are going to have a 5th choice. Only for masculine singular, when the adjective starts with a voyelle or silent H. And we have 3 adjectives like this. Let's see. We have nouveau, so we are going to have nouveau, nouvelle, then nouveau, nouvelle. We saw that. But the 5th choice is going to be nouvelle, E-L. Okay? Nouvelle. Let's see. Un nouveau canapé, but un nouvel ordinateur, okay? Because if we say un nouveau ordinateur, kind of breaks it, so it's better to say un nouvel ordinateur. Make sense? Next one. Vieux. We have vieux, vieille, and then we have vieux and vieille again. The middle one is going to be vieille. V-I-E-I-L. Vieille. Un vieux téléphone, but un vieil arbre. Okay? Un vieux téléphone, un vieil arbre. Third one, we have beau. Beau, just like nouveau. So we have beau, belle, beau, and belle. And the middle one is going to be belle. B-E-L. Un beau manteau, or un bel oiseau. Un bel oiseau. Exercise 3.4. Now we have tout. Tout is pretty easy. We use it a lot, so make sure to know how to use it. Tout means all or all in English. It of course agrees in gender and number. So we have tout, toutes, tout and toutes. Je me repose toute la journée. Je me repose toute la journée. Or, toutes les danseuses sont souples. Toutes les danseuses sont souples. Fairly easy, I would say. Now let's see 10 common adjectives. You have a very, very long list on the book. Don't forget also, if you have the book, to get all the audios, because they take me a lot of time and they can really do wonder for your listening skills. When you improve your listening skills, you will also be able to improve your pronunciation. Why? Because you can't pronounce a sound that you cannot hear. So make sure to download the audio if you have the book. So let's see. We are going to see 10. We are going to see masculine singular and feminine singular. First one. Courageux, courageuse. Désolé, désolé. Difficile, difficile. Entier, entière. Entier, entière. Fort, forte. Fort, forte. Grave, grave. Lent, lente. Lent, lente. Ouvert, ouverte. Ouvert, ouverte. Petit, petite. Petit, petite. Suivant, suivante. Suivant, suivante. Last point of this lesson, and then you have an exercise after this one. I got asked when I asked you what you wanted to see, if there's something that you didn't understand about French grammar, what you wanted to see in the book, and one of you said about brands. So adjective and brands. If you want to say that you have a new Audi, in English it doesn't change, but what about in French? Because we have all those gender and numbers. So, does it take the gender of the noun or not? Let's see. If we look at j'ai une nouvelle voiture. J'ai une nouvelle voiture. But you want to specify the brand of this car, you work really hard, and you want to tell your friends that you bought actually a Mercedes. So, j'ai une nouvelle Mercedes. J'ai une nouvelle Mercedes. So the adjective take the gender and number of what the brand represents. Here the brand represents a car, so une voiture, so J'ai une nouvelle Mercedes. So in French we say Mercedes. Mercedes. Okay? Let's see another one. J'ai un nouvel iPhone. J'ai un nouvel iPhone. Because iPhone is un téléphone, it's a phone, so it's masculine. Un nouvel iPhone. And because iPhone starts with E, we are going to use nouvelle with the L, the fifth choice. Okay? Very easy. When you feel comfortable, you can do the exercise 3.5. And that's it for today. Already. Tomorrow we are going to see everything about where to place the adjective. So, is it before the noun or after the noun? We are going to see everything about it tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. À demain.